starting off here mixing some colours. I'm going to mix a selection of reds and yellows and greens, etc., to start my painting. Before I go any further, just to say I've got some watercolour paper here, 300 grams. It's a good weight to have. I'm using a size 6 Daler-Rowney round sable brush. It's quite nice to be colour mixing with. You don't want the brush too big. And I've got my nice sort of printing palette here, which is a really handy sort of tray that you can mix your colours in. So you can see I've squeezed them out the top there. But, you know, you can even use something like a white dinner plate, you know, an old dinner plate, not the one you're using. But, you know, for colour mixing, it doesn't have to be some fancy palette. You can always get something available around the house. I've got my little trio pot that I purchased from the SAA for my water. And I'll have a handy piece of kitchen towel on standby. But as you can see here, I've got some oranges, reds, dark greens, and I'm using ultramarine, burnt sienna, Winsor red, opera rose, cerulean, and Paynes grey. All of the materials that I'll use, I will list them in the description below this video. If anyone's got any questions at all about them or the video and what I'm doing, please don't hesitate to ask. As you can see here, before I start painting, I'm wetting the paper with a nice flat size, it's a 1-inch sable brush, handy to wet the paper with. As you can see now, I am wetting the, I'm actually painting some yellow and some red, touch of red in the yellow as well to make some lovely orangey, creamy, yellowy colours, and putting in my light green here. That's the yellow with some ultramarine mixed. The consistency isn't too watery because I want it to show up on the painting. I don't want it to sort of bleed too far back. Just adding some orangey dots here, which are going to be sort of kind of textures of poppies in the background. They're going to sort of recede a little bit, but I'm just sort of building up my painting. I always like starting off wet in wet. It gets things going. Obviously you can reserve lighter colours, but here it's quite a nice way of putting in colours quickly. You get quite a nice result. But as you work wet in wet and you want to go further with it, as you can see here with the colour mixing, the paint's got slightly thicker because it's very wet. You're going to lose a lot of control. As so the longer I work in wet and wet, the slightly thicker my colours becomes. They don't sort of get out of control. So I'm just putting in some darks now for some of the foliage, and that's with Paynes grey and yellow, which makes a terrific dark green, which is quite a believable dark green, not too garish. I love using twigs. So as you can see here, I've got a twig in my hand. I sharpen it usually with a pencil sharpener to get a nice point and just draw some of the paint out. Now mixing up here some Winsor red and adding a bit of water here as well, but it makes a lovely poppy red colour, and it's a really nice red from Winsor & Newton. It's a series 1 colour, but you really do get a lot of beautiful reds out of it. And using I'm still working wet in wet here, using thick creamy Winsor red paint and just putting some little dots to make small poppies in the background. So this is a scary bit. I'm working wet on dry now. Look, you can see the painting below, it's got a lot paler as well, and the shine's gone. It's all dried off now. I've dried it with a hairdryer, but I'm just working wet on dry, painting the poppies. They're up in the sky area, and I'm using the Winsor of red again and a bit of yellow to give a bit of light in the poppy. So, and you can also see I haven't actually drawn it. I love painting something where I don't have any outlines. I can just go straight in and use my imagination. It seems a bit risky, but in some ways it's quite exciting. So I'm sort of giving different angles to the poppies here. I've got the large one on the right, and I've got this one here, smack bang in the middle nearly, but it's kind of at a bit of an angle. Yeah, just putting, I sometimes quite like putting a circle of yellow paint and then dropping some of the red in there, and you get that lovely light that you get from poppies, you know, that when the sun's on them, they almost look quite orangey looking. So I'm just putting in some smaller poppies here. So originally what I'm doing here, so I'll wet the poppy shape, as you can see, just wetting that, and then I will drop more deeper red, wet in wet, and it kind of bleeds, and you get these lovely, with poppies you get that lovely papery texture. And when I'm putting wetter paint into a drying paint, you get a back run. As you can see, some of my poppies are already developing back runs here. So it's quite exciting. It creates some really, really nice textures. So I'm just continuing on here, sort of thinking, oh, where else would be nice, compositionally nice to put another poppy. Just flicked off my brush a bit too much there, but I will remedy that. Just putting in some more. You know, some of the ones that I put in wet earlier that have dried, I'm going to bring some of those forward because they seem to be in quite a nice place. So I'm just building up some of those, giving a variety of shapes all the time. So you don't have them all facing you all the same direction. They're all got sort of different angles to them. I'm just starting to put in some buds now. You can use ultramarine with yellow, or the Paynes grey with the yellow to make that lovely dark green shade. So just putting in these little buds here and there around the poppies with my, still working with my size 6 Sable Daler-Rowney brush. And just swapping here to a smaller Winsor & Newton size 3 pointed sable. They are lovely brushes. I can't do without them. Such beautiful long points to them, and they really, for a small brush, it seems to hold quite a lot of paint as well. So I really recommend those as well, and they're not too pricey. And I will, again, as I said, I will have some details about the materials I've used below in the video in the description. I'm just using my twig now to put some stems of the poppies and the seed heads, etc., putting those in there now. And it's quite nice, you know, just dipping the twig into some wet paint and just, you know, you're almost drawing with it rather than painting with it. The paint's sort of on the stick, but it seems easier to manage somehow. So I'm just moving on here, and you can see how that dark really comes forward as well. So I'm just putting in some foliage here now, again using the Paynes grey with the yellow to create those darks, still using my size 3 pointed sable. You can see though now that wet on wet background now has really sort of receded, and this wet on dry dark wash now really pulls forward, and it amazingly, it gives so much depth. And this is just the second layer of paint as well, and yet already it's got depth, and it creates some nice patterns as well. So I'm just putting some darks now on my seed heads, just sort of building up the tonal values and showing that the light's coming from the right. So looking quite nice. And here's a little close-up here now of, I'm putting some shade now on this poppy here, and what I tend to do is I put the colour on, and as you saw there, I just put water on to soften the edges. I'll do the same thing with this one here, just softening out, and it's quite a nice way of sort of diffusing so you don't have a straight edge with a dark. Just putting in some Paynes grey now in the centre, for the centre of the poppies there, using a little bit of the red on this wet centre, dragging out, putting out some texture on the poppy, adding a little bit more, just another layer of red, not necessarily a darker colour. With watercolour you build up light to dark, so every time you put another layer on, that it makes more tone, and it hides the light of the paper almost. So I'm just putting in, really when I get to this sort of stage of a painting, I'll start putting in little touches of detail. As you can see, I'm using my twig again to create sort of texture in the middle of the flowers there, in the middle of the poppies, just putting in some of the detail in the centre. I was just sort of finishing off now, putting a few more dark stems in there. And my famous, I absolutely love to spatter, so I'm spattering red, green and yellow to create a little bit more interest and texture. So I've removed the framing tape to reveal a really nice white border, and it gives you time to assess to see if you need to do any more, but I think I'll leave it there for now. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you would like to support the content that I create here on YouTube, why not think about joining my Patreon membership. You will get access to my exclusive tutorials and my longer, more in-depth tutorials with downloadable outline sketches. Details about the membership can be found in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Happy painting. Bye for now.